Good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. So, y'all know I'm checking for lipstick on my teeth. Can I start over? Good morning. My name is Emily. I'm a faithful follower of Christ, and I'm addicted to sugar, flour, and binging. My brain is addicted. Legit. There's been neural pathways laid that will always be there. In fact, I like how some people say, while you're in the house recovering, your addiction is in the driveway doing push-ups. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me because it doesn't go away unless, by the grace of God, He wants to remove that thorn from your flesh. He is not removing it from me, nor am I asking Him to. I'm asking Him to help me manage it. I'm not asking Him to take it away from me. I'm grateful for it. I am grateful. Slow down, Emily. We got a big game starting in about 10 minutes. I am grateful for the things in my life that are a driving force sending me towards Him. And a byproduct of heading towards Him is connecting with you all. So, anyways, I am not about to say that it won't go away, but the nature of addiction, typically speaking, is that it's a forever problem that will need a forever solution. It's an active problem that needs an active solution. That's what this video is about. My solution from yesterday. Thank you, Eryn, and thank you, Jennifer. So, again, I'm addicted to sugar, flour, and binging, but I don't want to eat sugar or flour or consume it. And I don't want to, I guess I was going to say, there's other ways to consume it than just eating it. We could drink it. And at times, at the height of my addiction, I would have loved to have had a much quicker way to get it in my system than having to chew and swallow. You know, I was shaking and I needed it in my system and I couldn't chew and swallow it. It didn't feel like almost fast enough because I needed to get my kids into dance class and I got to get this like fiending under control. Anyways, it got bad there for a while, you guys. Addicted to sugar, flour, and binging, but I don't want to consume sugar and flour, and I don't want to binge ever again. I'd like to not binge again. And there's a big difference. We know, if you've ever binged, if you're familiar with it, you know the difference in binging and overeating. When I binge, a switch in my brain flips, and it's like, let's do it. We're going to do it. And it's exciting, and I start shaking, and I'm shaking out of excitement because I'm like, yes, I cannot eat enough fast enough. And that's not overeating. That is like an entirely different set of behaviors. So, let me tell you how I prevented a binge last night. The basketball birthday party was a huge success. I didn't even count how many kids. I didn't have time to count. I needed to go get 10 pizzas, a cake, cupcakes, 2 liters of soda. I fed a lot of people a lot of drugs last night. And I have a clear conscience about it. I mean, look, this is something we're all dealing with. It is quite normal in this society. I say sugar is not only socially accepted, it's socially promoted. And I also consider it fun. And I tell my kids there's food and there's fun, and you want to make sure that you do not fuel yourself with fun, but have some fun. Unless you're like me and you can no longer have that kind of fun. So that kind of fun is off the table for me because my brain, again, neural pathways laid. So, 3 o'clock yesterday, I went cross-eyed. My eyes were half open. I was like, is that a good, that's probably about exactly what I look like. I had taken Franklin to a nearby town. I thought I was going to get him a haircut. We did not have time. But we did pick up 3 and then a bonus kid. So I came home with 5 third-grade boys, I think. A 6th one joined us later. And then we went and his whole team was there. So by the time I got home at 3 and knew I needed to be at this like sportsplex immediately with balloons and tablecloths and plates and napkins and forks and cakes and pizza. I mean, the whole thing. I actually got in the parking lot with all that at 4:30 when it was supposed to start. So all the people we invited, it was fantastic. I got them to help me bring in all the decorations. Come on, people, pull your weight. So anyways, at 3 o'clock, I thought, uh-oh, the chemicals in my brain have shifted. And I knew I had that like flu feeling of like feeling bad. And I knew I was either going to turn to the drug I'm addicted to or have a very difficult evening. So I thought, Eryn, I gave myself the gift of a protein and a vegetable. Please look up under my video if you want and read what Eryn wrote to me called Analyzing Last Night's Binge. She took the time, Eryn, gift from God. Thank you. That very much helped me on this journey. I'm telling you guys, we're traveling together. She made it clear to me that one way to avoid binging is to make sure we're not hungry. And yes, my body gets hungry, but it's also, for me, feels what I would imagine might feel like a blood sugar drop for someone that has diabetes. I relate it more to bipolar disorder. It's a chemical shift in my brain that, again, it's probably much more blood sugar than I'm realizing. I don't know. I might have diabetes. I don't know. Again, I've been diagnosed with enough. I'm going to see if I can squeak by with no more diagnoses. We'll see. Yeah, right. Whatever. We'll all be diagnosed with 55 more things before. If we get to live to be 100, there's going to be a lot of things that we find ourselves needing to manage. Anyways, thank you, Eryn. I gave myself. I recognized that I was in a danger zone of binging, and I knew I was going to be around pizza and cake. And it's like, I tell people, it's like being caught on fire, and all you'd have to do is eat some sugar to put that fire out. It's like having the flu or being hungover and being surrounded by 55 third grade boys, and all it would take is a piece of cake to make you no longer feel horrible. I mean, no wonder I've turned to it over and over and over and over. But last night I didn't. Last night yesterday afternoon, I gave myself a protein and a vegetable, and then I raced out the door and I went to the dollar store, and I could tell. I was kind of keeping my friend Jennifer in the loop. I was like, I'm feeling better. I feel better. And I'm going to show you pictures of what I did not eat. So there's your warning. If images of sugar and flour will be a trigger to you, again, you'd almost have to have a blindfold because those images are everywhere. And I do recommend, I don't know you personally, so I cannot say this exactly, but I do recommend desensitizing yourself. Just make yourself aware that sugar and flour is everywhere, literally. Literally, here. I've got it right next to me. A big jug of it. Cheap too. It's not even like the good stuff. It's just like that's sugar and flour is a white powder that is a drug that is very cheap and easy to find, and you don't even have to like meet someone in a secret place to get it. You can just walk in anywhere and get it. However, ding, that's a little treat for me that I even left this in here, because this is what I do give myself. See, I give myself little, like, acceptable forms of the hard stuff. I don't want to make light of it. I do want to be objective about it and have a sense of humor about this whole deal. But in all seriousness, sugar and flour can destroy someone's life just like cocaine or heroin could. Because to live in an obese, if we're not on our path, we are not on our path. And sugar and flour might be keeping us just a little. And sometimes that's even worse than like way off our path. Because if you're way off your path, you know you need to do something, get your butt back on your path. But if you're just a little, if you're kind of on the shoulder of the road, or if you're just kind of off-roading a little bit, and maybe you're not like 200 pounds overweight, only 20 pounds overweight. I am seeing more and more that if I'm not on my path, I'm not on my path, and I want to be on my path. I want to claim my Jeremiah 29:11. I want my Habakkuk 1:5. It's for me. God has plans specifically for me, and I want to do what I can to get myself to them, which I'm doing. Anyways, sugar and flour is, I'm going to show you pictures of what I did not eat. So thank you, Eryn. I had that protein and that vegetable. Now, here's what I want to share. It made me feel better. I'm totally claiming victory on yesterday, for sure. I went on after that to have my turkey salad and my balsamic vinegar and my 1 tablespoon of olive oil and my Cajun seasoning while I was in the parking lot waiting for them. I was eating it while I was waiting for them to make our 10 pizzas. So I'm going to show you, again, trigger warning, but I'm going to show you what I did not eat last night that I'm so proud that I did not touch. Susan Pierce Thompson talks about not my food. I see it as not food, not my poison, not my drug. Everyone there last night, and there might have been 50 people, everyone there last night ate it but me. I am not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to let you know that it's super normal. It's all around us. Almost everyone's doing it. And by the grace of God, and thanks to you ladies, I had what I needed last night to not touch it. And what I needed was that snack. So, long story long. Okay, long story longer. I'm not going to do that on a daily basis. Instead, I'm doing something else on a daily basis, which is where Jennifer comes in. Jennifer sent me a little image of a modified version of the weight loss plan. Thank you, Eryn, for opening my mind to that 3 p.m. something to, yes, hunger. It is hunger, but it's like a 3 p.m. chemical shift that I need at times. Jennifer is a nurse, and she shared with me that people with bipolar disorder have a tendency to binge, have issues with binging, have issues with obesity or addictive type behaviors. I can see why. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to need my chemicals to change so that I can continue functioning and taking care of all these little kids that God has blessed me with. It is no surprise for me to hear that people with bipolar disorder would turn to binging or have issues with this type of overeating in a desperate attempt to manage the chemicals in our brain. And a 3-hour nap arguably would do the same thing, but I don't always have the opportunity to take a 3-hour nap. However, having said all that, when I ate that protein and I ate that vegetable, I've told y'all I'm not weighing again until the Tuesday after Easter, and I did not like the fact that I was no longer confident that I want to land this plane. I want to get to my goal weight and then be done with weight loss. And I want to get into the maintenance phase, and then I want to land this plane. I want this plane to land. And I did not like how all of a sudden I was no longer confident that the weight was still coming off. And again, I don't have much, but God and I are working out what's my landing pad? What's my landing pad? What am I shooting for? What is my, and I'm just not exactly there. So to all of a sudden, I thought, it worked like it was beautiful. But by the time I ate my 14-ounce salad, I was like, oh, it almost felt like too much. So instead of adding a protein and a vegetable, I am now going to break my day into what Jennifer sent me that I will show you here in a second, where you take the weight loss plan and you break it up. I'm still adding my grain at lunch because I've started the maintenance phase. And hear me when I say this, I am not recommending this to you as something to just try, because from a scientific standpoint, I do not recommend switching things up all the time left and right. Make very thoughtful, methodical decisions. Have someone else involved for accountability and say, hey, this is what I'm going to try. But as you experiment with different things in your program, keep the variables at a minimum. So I'm not encouraging any of you to do what I'm doing unless you think it resonates with you and you have an issue with, you're still having an issue finding yourself binging every once in a while. Now, this has been a year and a half in the making. I'm trying to tweak things here at the end. I did not even consider doing this for a long time when my binges were still like free-for-alls of sugar and flour. That was a whole nother issue. It's like get yourself off of change one behavior at a time. You know, if you're still binging on sugar and flour, then I would strictly focus on not touching the sugar and flour. I don't think that is quite such a hunger issue at 3 p.m. as it is an addicted issue. Your brain is still screaming for that drug. So get yourself off the drug before you start tweaking times of when you fuel with food. I hope that makes sense. Keep the variables at a minimum. And again, if it's not broke, do not fix it. Because if it's working, it's working. And when we find things that are working, boy, that's something to be grateful for and keep in place. So there's all that. Eryn, thank you. Jennifer, thank you. And I am super excited about the way I'm going to space this day. Again, I'm not adding any more food. I'm having my regular lunch, a protein, a fruit, and a grain. And I am having a regular breakfast of protein, a fruit, and a grain. And then my lunch will now be half a protein, 10 ounces of vegetables instead of 6. We eat 20 ounces of vegetables every single day, 6 at lunch, 14 at dinner. This that I'll show you in a second takes those 20 and separates them into two 10 ounce portions. So lunch will be a half of a protein, a 10 ounce portion of vegetable, a fat, and then that 3 p.m. and I'm so excited about the 3 p.m. ish. My times, I'm trying to shoot for something like, I don't know, it's after 9 already and I haven't had breakfast, but I just want to keep things spaced out so that this mid-afternoon Prevent-A-Binge snack will not be within 2 hours of my lunch or within 2 hours of my dinner, but it's a fruit and a protein. And you guys, knowing that I'm going to get protein, yes, our brains need protein. And knowing that I'm going to get a fruit, so some sugar, some glucose, fructose to my brain in mid-afternoon, I am so optimistic, and that's why I'm making this video now. I didn't want to wait. It's on my mind. Some fructose in the middle of the day. Anything that ends with OSE is sugar. And there's a whole lot we don't want to touch. Sucralose, dextrose. Stay away from lots of those, but fructose out of fruit. Okay, anyways, for my brain to get that at 3 p.m., I'm just so optimistic that that will give me what my brain has been begging me for. And I won't turn to, give me your chicken and ranch. It won't be an emergency. It'll be planned out. So this is every day. I'm committing to this for the month of March. I'll weigh again in April and I'll see how I feel. I'll see what the scale's looking like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm committing to this for a month. So again, I'm happy for the accountability. And then dinner's that other half of protein, the 10 ounces of vegetables, and the fat. So the accountability is cracking me up. Rachel in Toledo, New Zealand. Shout out to you ladies. Rachel told me that her and Toledo were going for a walk the other day, and Toledo said, Emily binged. Do you all know how much that cracks me up and how much I love that there are people across the world that know that I got into my kids' chicken? That's fantastic. And it makes me laugh imagining God thinking or knowing that it's going to take hundreds of people from all over the world to get me to quit eating peanut butter and shredded cheddar. Guys, I need your support. I love your support. I'm grateful for it. You know I'm here for you. Let me show you what I've got for breakfast, and then I'll add some pictures. Love you all. Bye. Okay, I bought this cute little thing from the dollar store years and years ago. I highly recommend, as we are trying to eat differently and have our own special meals and our own special diets. And by diet, I do not mean we're on a diet. I mean, we have a diet. Everything has a diet. Anything that eats. Elephants have a diet that consists of, I don't know what. What do they eat? Peanuts? Elephants eat peanuts. That's their diet. They're not on a diet. That is their diet. There's a big difference. So as we have our own special diet and we want to make it positive, like my video rewards our tools, treat yourself to your own special little bag. So I bought this years and years ago, and it's one way that I keep it positive, that I look around and everybody else is eating fast food. Not me. I've got my own fast food that was super fast because I had it planned out yesterday in this cute little bag. So here is breakfast. A protein, some cold chicken. I'd love for this to be warm, but who has time for warm chicken? Okay, let's see here. A grain, Triscuits. Not ideal because they come out of a box and have a bunch of additives, but whatever, I allow them. And an orange. Ding. Isn't that gorgeous? I sort of have an issue with oranges because it's a tactile thing. I do not like peeling them, but it's worth it. They're so good. So that's my breakfast. My lunch, you can just imagine, is gonna be something like this, because like I said the other day, if your food seems boring, it might not be boring enough. So let's keep the food pretty well streamlined, protein, fruit, grain, so that our life can be super exciting. I love you guys. Here is pictures of my food plan, pictures of what I did not eat, and a couple of my new before and after. Happy Saturday. I love you. We'll talk again soon. Bye.